Hi, my name is David and I once again welcome you to David Solution. In today's topic, we are going to talk about hardware components of a computer, and by the end of the lesson, my listeners should be able to define the hardware components of the computer, mention at least 5 hardware components of the computer, describe the functions of each hardware component, and be able to group the component into input, output, processing, and storage devices. So what comes in the mind when we talk about hardware components of a computer? We say it refers to the physical components of the computer system, which consist of all the machinery and equipment in a computer system. So the parts of the computer that can be touched and seen is what we refer as hardware components of the computer. So let's have a look at some couple of hardware computer components of a computer we can have. So you can see the monitor, the keyboard, and the others. And that is the list of hardware components of a computer you can have. In our pictures, we saw the monitor, we also saw the keyboard, and some couple of them. And with this, what we have on the screen, you can realize they have been categorized. And the highlighted one, that is the monitor, the speaker, and the printers, they are the output part of the computer. And the keyboard, mouse, joystick, scanner, we can say is the input part of the computer, and the system units falls no of such categories. So we first of all look at what the monitor is. The monitor is the screen that displays what is happening inside the computer to the user. So the monitor is the main output device of the computer because it displays the result of the computer works. It allows the user to see whatever action we can make on the computer. So we say that the monitor is known as the visual display of the computer, or the visual display unit. Let's go ahead with the keyboard. The keyboard is used to send text or data, or it's also used to usher commands into the computer. So the common keyboard is known as the QWERTY keyboard, the one that we've usually been using. The keyboard is a typewriter-like device that is used to send text data into the computer, as I've said earlier on. The keyboard was invented by Christopher Layton Sholes. There are various types of the keyboard, but I'll talk about two of them. That is the QWERTY, as I said, the common one that we've been using, and we also have the Dvorak keyboard. The QWERTY keyboard is derived from the first 6-letter keyboard, that QWERTY, and the Dvorak keyboard is named after its creator. So you can see that the keyboard have its various functions from F1 to F12. It also have numeric keys from 0 to 9 and some special purpose keys like the del, backspace, and quite lots of them. We also look at the mouse. The mouse, it is a pointing device that is used to select and point to objects and commands on the screen. The mouse is a pointing device, I've said, and is used to make input by either clicking on commands or drawing the images. The computer mouse was invented by Douglas Engelbart. The mouse has 2 buttons. We have a mouse here. These are the buttons of the mouse. So the left buttons, and we also have the right button based on the position on the mouse. There's a ball at the bottle of the mouse, which works with a number of wheels inside the mouse to facilitate the movement of the mouse pointer on the computer screen. We go ahead with system unit. The system unit, it is one of the major and important components of the personal computer. It is normally referred to as the brain of the computer, which houses the motherboard, storage, devices, and other internal computers. When we are talking about the system unit, sometimes we make mention of CPU, that is the central processing unit. It's a small device that controls the operation or the operation that go on within the computer setup. So it's the system unit that houses the main storage device of the computer, that is the hard disk, which stores all the information that is created by the computer. It also contains other storage devices like the ROM, that is the read-only memory, and the RAM, random access memory. Let's go ahead to talk about the joystick. The joystick, as we can see on the screen, is the most popular device you can use for computer games. It's quite simple when you are using the joystick. The joystick is categorized as an input device that controls the movement and action of the game on the screen. This is done by pressing the button and triggers. We go ahead with printer, and with printers we have the impact printers and the non-impact printers. Okay, so the printer, we say it transfers information that has been processed on a paper. Output from the copy is known as hard copy. So the printer is also an output device which is used to produce or display the information produced from the information processing cycle on a paper. There is also scanner. Scanner are also device that convert text and images into a form that the computer system unit can process. So that is scanner we have on our screen. To sum everything up, you have the main categories of computer hardware. You have the input and the output, and in the input we can talk about the keyboard, the mouse, the joystick, the scanner, and others. And the output too, we can talk about the monitor, speaker, printers. And we also have the processing device, and that is the central processing unit, and that is housed by the system unit. We also have the storage devices, that is the hard disk, the optical disk, flash disk, and many others. So that is that with our lessons, hardware components of a computer. And I hope by now my listeners will be able to have my objectives done. That is to define the hardware components of the computer, talked about it, mention at least 5 hardware components of a computer, describe the function of each hardware component, and group the components into input, output, processing, and storage devices. That is what we have done. Thank you very much for listening.